Carey Hodsden PGA here with another quick lesson with Common Sense Golf at X Golf Chesapeake here in the beautiful Chesapeake, Virginia. Today I really want to talk about how to draw the ball. Have you ever wanted to just know exactly how to draw a ball? What's the simplest, easiest way? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about this, and I'm going to tell you that golf instruction has been rehashed 50 million different ways since the beginning of golf, okay? And especially in the last 50, 60 years, it's gotten just crazy, the number of ideas around golf and how it can be played and how it can be done. I like to keep things very, very simple. I like the old classic golf swings better. The reason I do is because the golf club was made back then, and it's a heel shafted unit, and it's toe heavy. Okay, so the thing is going to open and it's going to close. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's the way it's designed. And now we're trying to find different type of teaching techniques and playing techniques, which a lot of guys are very successful with. So I have nothing against it, where they're trying to kind of go straight back and straight through with the club. But the club's really not designed to do it that way. If it was more center shafted, it would be more designed to do that, almost like a sledgehammer or something like that. Then it would make more sense. But in this particular case, you've got a club that is heel shafted and it opens and it closes. All right. So naturally, for a right-hander or a left-hander, you got to remember we're going to start on a beveled plane. This plane is going to be about whatever the address position is of the club, and the plane goes up the line, right? And then goes all the way around and comes all the way back down the line, back down to where the impact position is, and then continues to go up and matches the plane on the way through. Whether you're right-handed or whether you're left-handed, it doesn't really make any difference because you're on a beveled plane here, okay, at address, and because you'll swing around that plane, and the plane is not straight up and down, it's not north-south, and it's not east-west, it's in between, okay, maybe 60 degrees, something like that. Because you're on that bevel plane, if you make solid contact and you swing correctly, the ball should have draw spin on it. It may not draw, but it should have draw spin on it, just naturally. But that's not what we're asking here. I'm just letting you know that in an anatomically correct golf swing, especially with the old methods and a good grip, a classic method, the ball should draw, okay, technically. Now, what if we want it to draw and we haven't, we don't, our swing doesn't naturally do it, but we really need to draw it because we need to hit it around a bunker or around a tree or something like that. Okay, I use kind of an old Jack Nicklaus method, which I think works great. Some guys do it differently. I like to do it this way. Forgive the light in my eyes and my forehead. I'm going to try to get a little bit below it here. All right, so when we set up for a shot, we normally set up with a square stance. Our feet are square, our shoulders are square, our hips are square. The club face is square to the target line, so that we can hit what we hope will be a straight shot, right, at whatever we're aiming at. Now, how our body is aligned creates the path. Okay, the path of the golf club. So if my body is aligned square, right, like this, the path should come around my body and up and down the correct plane line here, and the ball should take off on a straight path. Okay, and let's see if we can do that here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this very well with this simulator, especially with the lights, and the cameras and stuff. But I'd like you to see it, and I hope that you can. Try to zoom in, if you need to. All right, so the idea is that we get here and we want to get the club into a good position here with a square stance, with square hips, square feet, square shoulders, the whole 9 yards here. And then we want to get the club back, and we want to hit our shot, hopefully with a square club face, something like this. Okay, so then the ball will take off down the center of the fairway here, hopefully, and it may have a little bit of draw spin. Like that ball had just a little tiny bit of draw spin on it, okay? Which should happen if your swing is basically correct. Now, here's the trick. What you want to do is, let's say, for instance, when we look at this screen, we can see up here that there's a waterfall over here, okay? on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you can, that's great. What I want to do is to make the ball take off down the line, which is where the X is, where it says the 7-iron is there. We want to take it off, have it take off down the line, and we want to have the ball draw to that first waterfall. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to align our club, okay, to the waterfall. So I'm going to walk behind it, just like a normal golf shot, like when you're on the golf course. I'm going to align the club to that first waterfall, and then I'm going to align the actual face of the club to that first waterfall. Okay? Then I'm going to take a square stance to the center of the fairway, where the 7-iron says it is, and the X is right there. Okay, then I'm going to take my grip. So what will happen is the club will look slightly closed. Okay, but I grip it anyway, and I don't think, I just do. Okay, so to you guys, if you're looking here, you'll see that if I set up like this, my club will look slightly closed. You see this? Okay, slightly closed, and then I'm going to swing along my body line, which will be to the right of where the club is facing. And the natural motion of the club coming through slightly closed will create a ball that takes off down the line and then draws to the target. Okay? So let's see if we can make that work for you. All right? So I'm going to align my club to that waterfall over there. I'm going to take my stance. The club looks a little bit closed. I'm going to swing normally. I'm not going to change anything in my golf swing. I'm going to push it back just like I have. I'm going to wrist set it just like I normally do. I'm going to screw myself into the ground and come in from the inside, right? And I'm going to hit with my right side. And we're going to see what happens here, okay? So here we go. All right, so the ball takes off down the line, draws left of the 150, and ends up directly, hopefully, at that first waterfall. You can see. Okay? Hopefully you guys saw that on the screen. Now, to do the cut shot, or the fade, we would do exactly the opposite. We would set up with the face, let's say, pointed over here at this little arrow here, this little down arrow. Then I'm going to set my body square to the line, and I'm going to take the exact same golf swing, and I'm going to try to hit the same shot. So I'm going to set up with a slightly open face towards that little arrow down, and then I'm going to grab the club just like I normally do. I'm going to push it back just like I normally do, and I'm going to swing through and apply the hit just like I normally would do. So here we go. So now you can see it took off down the line. It's fading right of the 150, and it should end up right along that little arrow down, that little down arrow. That was there, okay? You can't really see it just because of how it was, but if you want to see the path of the ball came down over here, okay? With the simulator, okay? So super simple way to hit draws and fades, okay? We point the club where we want the ball to go. Then we set up square, okay, to the line. Like say for instance, I've got a big tree in front of me over to the left, and I have to hit it around this tree, okay? Then I'm going to set the club to where I want the ball to go around the tree, but then I'm going to set my stance to where I want the ball to start, okay, and take off down the line, and then it will hook around the tree and go to the target. Now, this is a very, very simple explanation of how to draw or fade the ball, but it's a good one. Jack Nicklaus did it, and it works. He won lots of major championships, more than any other player in history, because he hit draws and fades this way. I'm Carey Hodsden with Common Sense Golf. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.